Barcelona have made a surprising and potentially season-shaping decision. Despite closely monitoring Atletico Madrid's rising 20-year-old centre-back Gerónimo Spina, the club will not pursue his signing this summer. Reports citing Mundo Deportivo and follow-ups across the Spanish press make clear that Spina remains on Barca's scouting list, admired for his size, composure with the ball and rapid adaptation since arriving in Spain. But financial fair play constraints and a tight transfer priority list mean a tight transfer priority list. Barcelona view him as a watch-list prospect rather than an immediate recruit, unless a last-minute crisis forces a change. To understand why this quiet no matters, consider who Spina is and how he rose to attention. Born in La Plata in February 2005, the 1.87-meter defender moved from Estudiantes de La Plata to Atletico Madrid's youth setup in 2023 and quickly impressed coaches at the academy and the reserves with his left-side comfort, progressive passing out from the back. Transfer profiles and match reports show he has become a regular for Atletico Madrid B, and that his development earned him training involvement and at least emergency first-team call-ups under Diego Simona. Experiences that explain why big clubs have started to circle. Over the last week, the story ballooned. Early dispatches and social posts suggested Barcelona were in talks or close to making a move, feeding fevered speculation that Barca could snap up a young, affordable solution to the centre-back gap opened by Íñigo Martínez's exit. Several outlets ran with the angle that Spina could arrive as a Barca Athletic signing or as a low-cost investment for the first team. But more measured follow-ups, citing club sources and Mundo Deportivo, now say the club isn't planning to sign him this window. A pivot from rumour to restraint that tells us as much about Barcelona's limits as it does about Spina's prospects. Why would Barcelona shelve a promising low-cost target? The short answer is priorities and compliance. Barcelona's transfer strategy this summer has been shaped by financial fair play considerations, by the need to register new signings and finalise contract renewals, and by a desire to close the window early unless a key departure creates space. A conservative stance that leaves promising names waiting on the bench rather than being rushed into deals. For a club juggling wage structure, registration deadlines and Hansi Flick's immediate demands for a balanced squad, a young centre-back who still needs seasoning can be tempting but not essential at this precise moment. That calculation has immediate footballing consequences. Íñigo Martínez's departure left a hole in experience and leadership at centre-back. And if Barcelona truly passes on reinforcements like Spina, Flick will have to rely on existing options, promote from within, or hope that minor transfers or late exits create room. In practical terms, that means the squad could be lighter on left-sided, ball-playing centre-backs who can step right into high-pressure La Liga and Champions League minutes, a gamble that could cost points early in the season if rotation and injuries bite. It also raises a narrative question about Barca's recruitment philosophy. Are they buying proven short-term fixes or prioritising fiscal prudence and long-term scouting? For Spina himself, the outcome is mixed. Remaining at Atletico, where he has familiarity, minutes, and the blessing of coaches who have already integrated him into training with the first team, may be the steadier route for development. But being publicly linked to Barcelona and then left on the sidelines of the market can also amplify interest in future windows, increasing transfer value and expectation. From Atletico's perspective, keeping a homegrown-like talent who is under contract until the summer of 2027 is a win. From Barcelona's side, watching him grow while conserving resources could look wise or cautious depending on how the season unfolds. What could change the story? Football transfers are famously volatile. A surprise sale, an injury in pre-season, or a sudden regulatory shift could create a late opening that turns our nose into a frantic yes. The most likely triggers would be an unexpected exit from Barcelona's defensive core or a failure to register an anticipated signing, scenarios that would force the club to revisit targets like Spina. For viewers and bettors of transfer drama alike, the window's last days remain the time to watch. Until then, this is a measured decision that reveals Barcelona's current priorities more than it settles Spina's long-term fate. So for now, the takeaway is simple and sober. Barcelona liked Gerónimo Spina enough to track him, but they do not see him as a summer solution given their financial and sporting calculus. That puts the onus on Hansi Flick and Barca's recruitment team to extract performance from what they have or to find an alternative before the clock runs out. And it leaves a promising young Argentine watching from the wings. His next move likely determined by how bold either club decides to be in the coming months.